What's up, everybody? We're here at 5 Points MARTA Station for Fresh MARTA Market Fridays here at 5 Points. I'm joined by Cicely Garrett. Very excited to be here for a few reasons. Number one, this is my first time at the MARTA Market. Number two, this is the second time I've seen Cicely this week. We got to run into each other at Techstars for a Foodwell Alliance event about economic development that was excellent. So shout out to the Foodwell Alliance. But for now, star of the moment, Cicely Garrett from the Office of Resilience is that under the Mayor's Office?
It is. So Mayor's Office of Resilience used to be formerly the Mayor's Office of Sustainability. It then transitioned to the Mayor's Office of Resilience earlier this year once we became one of 100 Rockefeller Foundation's 100 resilient cities.
So, and I had found, I guess resilience can mean a lot of different things, but it really encompasses so many things that I never even thought of. So can you maybe give the people a little bit of a description about what the Office of Resilience does and then how it ties into food?
Yes, so Office of Resilience works on just not sustainability issues, but just sort of all the issues, both sort of chronic stresses and acute shocks that a city may face that we need to work on in order for us to be resilient. So not only being, anticipating these things that may happen, but some stuff we can't anticipate. But when it happens, how is it that we come back from this? And not only do we come back and, sort of be the same city, but how do we thrive in the face of those things that they may happen? And so how do we really think about overall urban resilience and how we could be a better city, especially for the anticipated growth in population that we're about to see in the city over the next 20 to 30 years? How can we definitely prepare ourselves for that and then be better for it?
And in terms of food, what kind of roles does food play in that landscape?
So one of the cornerstones of resilience is a focus on equity. So not just making sure that, the city overall is thriving, but how does everyone prosper and become better for it within the city? And food is one of the things that, if a vehicle that does that, it's one of the basic needs that people need within the city, but it's also a vibrant economy for us here within the city. And so in order for us to be resilient, we need to think about how it is we get food just every day. And then also in the event of an emergency. And so one of the things that you can do to build in resilience is to have a really strong local food system operating within your city. And so that's one of the things we definitely want to work on. We already have a strong urban ag industry here, and so we want to build upon that, and then also work in all the different ways that people get food to make sure that people have the food they need on a daily basis. And then in the event of emergency, that we are totally resilient and very self-dependent about how we get food from both within our state and then within both the rural and urban areas. How is it we work together to ensure that people have exactly what type of foods that they need to thrive?
And you've been, for those of you who don't know, Cicely has been doing this work for quite a long time. And one of the MARTA Markets, so the MARTA Markets was a part of your work more directly in the food system. How did these MARTA Markets come to be, and how have you seen them grow in the last, how long have they been up? About a year?
No, actually MARTA Market started in the summer of 2015.
Okay.
So we piloted at West End Station. It was a partnership. That's when I used to work at the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and I was the manager of the Georgia Food Oasis Atlanta project. And so it was a partnership between us, Community Farmers Market, Southwest Atlanta growers for the first year. And we piloted at West End. The next year we got to come back for a full year, and we expanded to other stations, and then Organics Matters came on, and they run the day-to-day operations. And so it was part of my repertoire then, and then it also feeds into, because all of the stations currently are within the city limits except for College Park. And so it's become a part of, things that we build on the city, and we want to see grow and encourage the capacity that they have, because it's serving people on public transportation, and public transportation is also an issue. Not only just affects the way people get around, but how people get food. So in many of the things that we build, if people can't get to the food, then it's still limited in sort of our reach and how we can affect people. And so we're always looking for innovative solutions and continue to support those efforts in and around the Metro Atlanta area that help build resilience in both food and with our public transportation.
Very cool, very cool. And one final question. I know that you're going to be at the Food for Thought conference brought to you by GFMA on November 30th and December 1st. Can you give a little bit of a preview about what you might be, what wisdom you might have to share?
I don't know about wisdom. I think we actually want our session to be more of a listening session.
Cool.
One of the things about resilience, and you'll see when you look at our strategy, is that we have 4 major visions. And so our 4th vision is it gives us the opportunity to work on us, to build our systems to reflect our values as our fourth vision within our resilient strategy. And what that talks about is that in order for us to support the first three visions, there are some things that fundamentally need to change with the way in which we do business, both as a city and our other adjoining sort of municipalities and our infrastructures. And so we want our session to be sort of a listening session to hear people's feedback. So what are some policies and procedures you've encountered that are helpful or not so helpful to you being in a food business and prospering, and how is it we can work to ensure those things get changed to better support the work that people are doing?
Very cool. Well, make sure you're a part of that. Give Cicely your suggestions because she'll make sure that they happen. We'll see you guys at the Food for Thought conference, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.